So, Mommy stayed asshole, and that's the toilet word.
Welcome to Life Under the Laundry Pile, airing it all out, one conversation at a time.
This is Heather.
This is Copper.
I'm so excited to be here. I really am. This is going to be a fun episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
Bitch fest. Yeah.
Y'all are gonna have to excuse me a second. I gotta fix my chair. There we go. It was sitting too low. I felt like I was like, I don't know.
You felt like I didn't have an ample view of your boobs.
I know you love looking at them.
They're ginormous. I can't not look at them.
You can't miss them.
No, you cannot miss them.
No, I scooted down so you didn't have to look at them, but I felt like I was getting swallowed by my desk, so I had to move up a little bit. But I adjusted everything. You can't see them. We're good. No. I mean, unless you want to see them.
I'm okay. I stared at him for the last episode. We're good.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much, actually. Not much.
Yeah.
Trying to survive the first couple of weeks of school. That's about it. It's about it. Just trying to, adjust to getting up at the butt-ass crack of dawn, which we talked about before, and you just, holy cow. Let's just say I'm all dragging by about 1 o'clock in the afternoon,
right, and
I'm ready for bed.
And I was going to say it's kind of too late to take a nap at that point in time, but you only take 13-minute naps, so.
Yes, perfect time. Right. Plenty of time. Hell, I can take a nap when the school bus leaves the school, between the time it leaves the school and gets here, so I'm good.
You're so weird. I took a 20-minute nap the other day, and I thought of you, and I'm like, she would be just totally, rearing to go after that. And I just felt like I wanted to kill someone. I just woke up angry. Like, why?
And I hear people say that all the time, but thankfully that's not me. And, it's a joke. My mom says, I say 20 minutes. Just give me 20 minutes. And that's all I need. But I do have a confession, because I've been so tired. I've actually been sleeping longer. Like, if I ever do lay down, the other day I laid down over the weekend to charge my phone. Uh-huh. And I got up like almost an hour later, and I was like, holy cow.
That's like a copper nap. It felt good, didn't it?
But that just shows you how tired I've been. Yeah. So, but yeah. So
I'm usually like anything less than an hour is not worth my time. So.
Really? Aww.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like I'm wasting my time if I sleep too long.
I'm part cat. I mean, honestly, if I keep moving, I don't need a nap. But if I've stopped and decide I need a nap, it's got to be at least an hour, or I'm just going to be even worse than I was.
Well, and you kind of hit the nail on the head, because if I stop moving, that's when everything kind of falls down. But so I try not to stop moving.
Right.
But that's about it. Just trying to survive the first couple of weeks of school. I mean, that's it for us. And trying to adjust to the influx of children who come to my house on a daily basis. From the time they get off the bus at 2:30. Until about, we had a kid ring our doorbell at 9:30 one night. Little 5-year-old boy, 9:30. It was dark.
I'm dying, because when you moved into that house, you're like, this neighborhood is amazing. There's a bunch of children. No.
I was so fucking excited to have anonymity and privacy and peace and quiet. And oh my God, all I have to say is be careful.
You just thought they were going to go outside and play and leave you alone, and they keep sucking your energy from your, very soul by not leaving your house. In fact, bringing more kids into your home.
Be very careful what you wish for, because you're going to get it, and then some you don't want. And that is a song, and I hear it in my head all the time. I think it's Chris Daughtry or something, but he says, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it all, and then something you don't want. So truer words have never been spoken.
Well, you put that basketball hoop up, so hopefully, they'll just take their asses outside and play on that bad boy from now on.
Well, and I have learned to tell them, no, you may not play inside my house.
Right.
And now I see why, because, for the first few weeks we were here, Landon would go play, and they were only allowed to play in the yard. And I thought, okay, that's weird. But now I totally get it. Yeah. Because if you let these little fuckers in your house, you have zero privacy, zero
and they're not
peace.
leaving. And they're not leaving.
And they've made messes, which you then have to clean up. Track in dirt. They want to eat your food. And I love my neighbors, but I moved here for a little bit of peace and quiet. And you can play all you want in my yard. I don't care. So
just don't step foot. Go if you have to pee. There's bushes on the side of the house. Do not come
or
in
go home because
the second
we all live
they're
close.
like stray cats. Once you let them in and they see your pantry, you are screwed. They are not going home.
No, and I had that issue when Aubrey was younger. She had a friend who would come over specifically because they weren't allowed snacks and they didn't have food. And so inevitably she would come and just eat boxes of food at a time.
Right.
So, So let's just say it's been a huge learning curve for us here. But
well, we just came back from vacation and we are exhausted. I really don't feel like it was beautiful. Like we found this house just randomly that was perfect. It literally, Heather, it smelled brand new. That's how new everything about this house was. It was still just that the dishes still had the stickers on the back of them and everything. Like, so it really made me happy because I'm a pretty big germaphobe and staying somewhere really stresses me out because of other people and their filth. It's weird and it's not healthy. I know, but it's just me. But it was gorgeous. It was this perfect little house. My brother's sister came and stayed with us, and I love her to death. In fact, if we ever get divorced, I actually get her in the divorce. So, and the kids had a good time. They had like their own room with multiple bunk beds and TV, and Moose had to work during the day, and I did some work during the day because we were hanging out waiting for him, and then we would just go to the beach or the pool and just have a really good time. But I came back just still really exhausted. So
did you have to cook any of the meals?
I actually ended up we between the three adults we split the cooking quite a bit, and then we did go out to eat. Not as often as I made him promise. I actually am cooking a lot more at home than I really thought I would. Just because it took so long to get anywhere. We were all the way at the tip of Fort Morgan, so to get back into the restaurant area. It's a good 20 minutes. Not always worth it when you're tired and the kids are hungry and everything. So I did cook more than I said I was going to cook, which was fine. But between the three of us, it wasn't really just one person's burden. I did feel like it was a constant. I think the stuff is amplified when you're on vacation like that. Like it was a constant cook, clean up, cook, clean up, and in between laundry and straightening up, because you're not. There's no one coming in and doing the stuff during the day while you're out and about doing your thing. Right. So
it's almost like being at home, but you're paying extra money.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. But there's a nice pool and a beach nearby, and because you're on vacation, there's no reason why you can't have vodka at 9:00 in the morning. So
absolutely, Bloody Marys all hours of the day.
I know. Very early on in the vacation, I went. We were going to head down to the beach. Kara and I were going to take the kids to the pool. And I'm like, okay, so I got my big silver cup and I fill it with the ice and I pour the vodka and the watermelon juice in it. And she's like, really? It's 9:00. I'm like, yes, bitch, we're on vacation.
It is literally 5:00 somewhere in the world.
So she's like, really is it going to be that party? And then she went ahead and made herself a drink too. She's like, oh, if we're doing it, let's do it. But at first she was like, really? It's not. I'm like, yes, I am. I'm on vacation and this is what I want to do.
And I want to know whoever decided that you could only drink after a certain time in the day. Like, seriously. Like, what moron?
They literally make alcoholic drinks for in the morning. There's mimosas, Bloody Marys, coffee, liqueur. There's all kinds of things that you can drink. Yeah. Beer. Yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can drink in the morning.
That's right. Wine coolers.
Tequila shooters.
Zima.
There's all kinds of things that are meant for morning.
There's nothing better for breakfast than a Zima with a Skittles in it. You don't drink that? You don't drink that with your scrambled eggs?
Yeah, it's delicious. Not to make you jealous, but Janelle are currently in the process of planning a Zima party. So.
Oh, shut up. Yeah, that is awesome. Oh, I might have to drive back 2 days for that. I'm just kidding. No. She's
like, well, buy cases of it. It'll be awesome. I'm like, I don't think we need cases. I think we need a 6-pack so we can taste it and be like, oh, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. And then we'll just switch back to what we normally drink.
Oh, I think I can taste it in my mouth, actually.
Yeah, I'm guarantee you it's not as good as I remember it being.
I have a flashback to going to inevitably, and I mean, I don't know if it was like this for you, but in my partying days, we would go pick someone up from someone's apartment or go pick up someone new that some of us had never met.
Right.
And we ended up in these strange apartments sitting on this furniture, you know, waiting for that person to finish getting ready.
Right.
And inevitably, they would give you a drink, and it would be a Zima.
Oh, yeah.
And so you're sitting there in this sparsely furnished apartment waiting for this person to finish getting dressed so you can go party at the club.
And it's the 90s, so not only is it sparsely furnished, it's a little dirty and there's cigarette ashes everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Nothing hanging on the walls.
No.
And literally still shit all over the counters from the night before where they'd gone out and drank. And eaten at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I can literally smell the apartment right now.
I can see it in my head. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know whose apartment this was, but it was indicative of every apartment I ever went into. This was that apartment. So.
Good times.
You know, I totally forgot my biggest thing that happened to me last episode. The kids and I went to the video shoot. I totally forgot. Wasn't I didn't talk about that, did I?
No. Mm-mm.
I didn't. My brother, as some of you know, because some of you have come from my brother, but Home Free did a video. They had a week worth of shooting videos just down the road from us here in Tennessee last week. And my brother so graciously invited the kids and I to go. And so it was way out, even farther than where we live, out in the middle of nowhere. Off the beaten path, up this gravel road, and you pull up and it's this old house, and you know it's been there for probably 100 years, and they're inside videoing. I don't know what the song was. I'd never heard the song. It was some song. I have no idea. But when I see the video, I'll let you know. You're gonna be like,
I was there.
Yes. So the kids and I hung out and watched the video, and it's pretty cool to watch the behind the scenes, how they take flashlights and shine them like near their faces, and they blow like smoke and stuff like that. And it was a really, really neat experience to be able to see. And for a lot of the fans who are on their Patreon, they get the behind the scenes video of the video.
Right.
And I do believe we were in that because Olena, who is their photographer, she videoed a lot of the kids hugging Uncle Adam and stuff like that. So we'll be in that video as well. But I thought that was so cool. It was a very neat experience. I told the kids, I said, you guys will always get to say that you watched them make this video. You were there when they made it. So
I think it's really awesome that with the move that you've been closer physically like to him, and you've gotten to see him a lot more because you know he's on the road so often and everything.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
and I know that seeing him right now, you know, location wise, is kind of temporary for him, but for now at least, you guys have gotten a chance, and the kids have gotten a chance to spend time with him as well. So
yeah, and it's really funny because he did not like Texas. He did not want to come and visit at all. But we are pretty close, and he's always here in Nashville doing recording doing videos. So yes, and they recorded a different video, I think, the next day, but it was going on right when the kids got out of school, so I said no to that one. But that one apparently they dressed up for, and they had a lot of extras, so that one's probably going to be a funny video, which cool. I wish we could have seen them do that one. But so yeah, that was pretty cool. I totally forgot that we had did that, but yeah, pretty neat experience. So
very good, very good.
Yeah. So.
Do you have a story for me?
I do.
What the fuck story?
I do have a what the fuck segment, pretty much. It's kind of in the same vein as the one a couple episodes ago we talked about the crazy lady and her breast milk brownies. I'm sure
we do seem to be obsessed about that. Yeah.
Boob milk, boob juice. Seriously, this is a lady who makes charms and jewelry out of breast milk.
Okay.
So, I don't really know how I feel about this one. It's really nice, an idea, and the jewelry's really pretty.
Right.
But I just think it's a little strange. She does say on her website, mothers from around the world mail me their very own breast milk, and I preserve it through my unique process, allowing me to create a one-of-a-kind keepsake.
Right.
She does it. She's even been on the news, Fox News, ABC, CBS, Steve Harvey. I'm not real sure how I feel about it. I don't know.
I actually think that that's a much more healthy story than I ran out of milk, so I'm going to put my breast milk in these brownies I'm going to serve everybody at the school. Definitely. Yeah. I think so these women are sitting in their own breast milk, and then she's somehow preserving it within the jury and sending it back to them.
Yeah, apparently it only takes a half an ounce. She says she can make a couple of pieces out of a half an ounce. You can even use expired frozen breast milk, and it doesn't have to be iced. What she's doing, and I did this in college, she's preserving it in resin. Okay. So she's just mixing it in the resin, essentially, and then making a stone out of it. So it turns into a stone. I have to say, I'm not real sure why you would want it. I mean, to me, this kind of is in the same vein as saving your placenta and making jewelry out of your placenta. Yeah. So I'm not real sure I don't really see, like, you know what I mean? I don't get it.
I see these things, it's things that don't harm anyone else. So although I don't quite understand the thought process behind it, if it makes you feel better, I'm all for someone doing something like that. There's actually a process where they, when people have their loved ones cremated, they make like the company, and I can't think of it. It's been a couple years, but you're shaking your head. You know, like they make these, and they're beautiful. Like they're these glass
paperweights.
Yes, paperweights, and it has these ashes in it. And I happen to think that that's very beautiful. I don't know that I would ever have it done, but I think it's a wonderful way. If it makes someone feel better, then I'm all for it. They're not hurting anybody, so.
And I'm gonna say the stuff she makes is beautiful. She's got, she does a lot of it in 14 karat gold. Just to let you know, she has payment plans. That's how expensive this jewelry is. Oh, my. Which, to me, I think, come on now.
That gets kind of, you might be playing on people's...
Exactly. Yeah. $225 for one little pendant that you hang. There's not even a chain. It's $225 for one little thing that you hang on a necklace. And again, it's beautiful, but... Go buy yourself some of that. What is that lady? What's that lady? Kendra Scott? Looks just like it. Yeah. Yeah. For a fraction of the price. Like so I'm not on board with this one. I think this one's kind of weird, and I don't really see the point to it.
It's not something I think I would spend my money on.
No, absolutely not. No. Very bizarre. So that was my what the fuck. I was like, I don't know.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. So
oh my goodness gracious. So on to this, that fit actually really well into our topic for this week, which is pet peeves.
Pet peeves. Why do you have a pet peeve about boobs?
I love boobs. I think boobs are great.
I have a pet peeve about boobs when one points up one way and one points the other way.
Oh, no, I have issues with my own boobs, but I think boobs in general are awesome. So
yeah, pretty much.
They're like multi-purpose. That's what I love about them. It's the most multi-purpose, body part that any human has. So
I would have loved to have been able to like squirt someone with the boob juice at one point in my life.
I believe I did one time squirt Matt. Yeah.
I don't know why, but that would be fun. Like, you asshole. Psst,
squirt.
Yeah. Did you say
especially
twerk?
This is squirt.
Oh, squirt.
Especially I always kind of I was not fortunate enough to really ever be able to breastfeed for very long with any of my children, but these women that, and I'm not sure it really happens terribly often, but if someone was to come up to me if I was breastfeeding, that would be my ideal response if they had an issue with me breastfeeding in public, would just be like, excuse me, child. Wee, and then just kind of go back. Yeah. Like that would be my response. If you have a problem with it, then here you go. Yeah.
That would have been amazing. Yeah,
I would absolutely have done that. I fully encourage, here's a revolution for y'all. That's what I encourage. If someone's giving you shit about feeding your child in public, go for it.
Squeeze some of your boob juice in their face. They'll leave you alone very quickly, I promise. Unless they're a pervert and then they start drinking it. And then you need to go quickly. Run.
Then you just kick him right in the nuts. I mean, honestly. Yeah.
Run, bitch, run. Yeah.
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about? So what are some of yours? I have so many it's not even funny.
I had to stop. I'm like, okay, we're not going to, be here for 4 hours. Because I'm like, I can complain about a lot of shit. People drive me nuts. One thing, and this was something and this is a huge problem. And I think you're going to encounter this more in the wintertime. But in the summertime here, the cart situation gets out of control in parking lots. And someone a couple of days ago that someone on my friend page commented about how there was this whole article about how whether or not people are cart returners.
Mm-hmm. I am.
It says something about their personality, and people got very defensive on it, like why they don't return carts. And it kind of pissed me off to the point because I'm like, you know what? I have 3 children. All 3 of them were born within 4 years. And I did all the shopping with my children. Like, my husband was gone all the time. There was no one at home to watch them. I was daily somewhere with those kids in a cart. You know what I always did? Returned my fucking cart to the little corral thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm a cart returner.
Yeah.
Yep.
It drives me nuts.
I'm in the same boat you. I did exactly the same thing. Like, always had the 3.
Well, I had a baby, so I could know. Park your ass next to the corral then. Like, that's always. To this day, I still park next to a corral every time.
I do too. And you know what the added bonus of parking next to the corral is? There's nobody parked on that one side.
Yeah, that's true.
You have one less side that someone can open their fucking door up because they've done it to me a million times. So, yeah.
But
absolutely.
it's a huge thing for me. Like, if I see you not putting your cart away, I'm judging you. I am judging you big time. I will go further. I think you're an asshole. I don't care what story you have in life. If you don't return the cart to the corral, you're an asshole. There's no excuse for it. If it's too far, then park closer, plan ahead. It's not that complicated. And the people that literally, the ones that make me the angriest are the ones that are literally feet away from the corral. And they'll just are you kidding me? Push it all the way in. And my kids will laugh at me because if the carts are, like, I won't take hours to do it, but if I can straighten out the carts within the corral, I'll do it.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Because then they're just like, they start, we've all been to Walmart where they're all backed out and the carts are halfway into the parking lot. And it's like, come on, guys. It's not a complicated system.
This is one of the reasons I like about Aldi. So you're in charge of your own cart, your buggy.
You take that shit back up because you want your quarterback.
Yeah, I call it a buggy. But yeah, I put my buggy, you put it up. That's what it is. Or you give it to the next person and you let them use it.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot. So okay, one of mine is this drives me nuts. And my husband's notorious for doing it. I'll show him something in a magazine or a book or on my phone, and I'll hand it to him, right? And then he'll just start reading it, and then he'll start flipping through the rest of it. Or he'll start scrolling up. I'm like, no, I gave you that to show you something super quick. Give it back to me. Pisses me off. Have you ever had anyone do that to you?
I have, yeah.
People do it to me all the time. I'm like, no, fuck no. I gave it to you to read that little bit of article. I did not give it to you so you could finish reading the rest of the magazine.
Right.
Oh, that drives me crazy.
My next one, sorry, I had to take a little drink there. I was coughing. And I hope I don't offend anybody. And there's a little part of me that doesn't care if I do. But I have a huge pet peeve with smokers in general.
Yeah. And I can say that because I used to smoke. But yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were, and this kind of came, I mean, I always have a problem with this. And if you know what, if you want to smoke on your back porch, that's fine. I don't give a shit about that. But within the last week alone, I have had to walk through someone's nasty ass smoke to get into a restaurant.
Yep.
I've been on a beautiful beach where we've picked up other people's cigarette butts.
Right.
And there's a third one and I forgot what it was. Oh, no, I do know what it is. We went to Children's Place on Sunday because I'm a fucking idiot and took all of my kids to Children's Place on tax-free weekend here in Texas to buy jeans. And that entire store reeked of old cigarette smoke because there was someone there that just had it permeated within their skin and their clothing and the entire store. And I wasn't the only person. Like, a couple of the other people looked, and it kind of got to the point where you wanted to say, that's not me. Like,
right.
You smell. I can't.
Right.
I'm sorry. I know it's
Yeah.
addictive, but it stinks. And for us, we can't, like, Henry or Jackie and I, we can't deal with your shit. Like, I can't be around that. He can't be around that. It's just, it's rude. If you got to do it, that's fine. I get it. It's addictive. Trust me. I get it. Go do it out, away from everybody else. And when you're done, wash your hands.
Yeah. Right. No, I know. And
I got a little angry with that one, but it always pisses me off. I can't. I for the life of me can't understand why people still smoke. I just don't.
You know, back in the day, back in the 90s, I can remember back in Pensacola especially, they still allowed smoking in restaurants. And Chili's in particular you would walk in and the bar would be right in front of you and they were smoking. So you'd have to walk through the smoking sections to get to the non-smoking.
The quote unquote non-smoking section.
Yes. And all that divided the non-smoking section from the smoking section was a panel of glass.
Right.
And it wasn't even mounted. It had like a fraction of an inch underneath it all the way around. So literally the smoke came right underneath. I remember one time specifically saying, we're not sitting here. I'm leaving. No. And I told the waitress, I said, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
You can't have someone behind you smoking and then you're sitting here in a non-smoking. It doesn't work like that.
And we've been in places where, like, we've walked in and I've been like, I'm sorry, there's no way.
Yep.
And, you know, they're like, well, it's my right to smoke. No, it's not. It's my right to breathe.
Yeah. No. I will not eat in a restaurant where people are smoking.
No,
I won't even
we don't.
go. I don't even go into bars or clubs anymore
No.
where people smoke. And I smoked
and it's hard to find places. Is Tennessee smoke free or no?
From what we've seen so far, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I think there's not a lot of places where you can still smoke to this day. Thank
Yeah.
God. But yeah, I mean, I love going bowling and I love going to bars and I, you know, like go see a band or whatever. We used to not be able to do that stuff because there was no way. And I'm like, I don't understand how my right to breathe is not more of a priority than your right to pour some cancer into your lungs. I don't get it.
Yeah. And like I said, I can literally say this because I smoked for about 10 or 15 years. I can't even remember at this point. And so I know. And I think I'm one of I hate it. I have an extreme hatred for it, which as most of my friends who smoked and quit do. Like, we hate it even more, I think, than people who've never smoked. And I don't know what it is.
Literally watched my dad die slowly from it. So, I mean, I was, what would you call, I was a convenience smoker. So if we were having drinks. Social
smoker.
Yeah, social smoker. And I wouldn't sit there and do a bunch, but, you know, if, you know.
Oh, yeah.
A puff here and there. So it was not hard for me ever to give it up.
No.
Permanently, but I do get the addiction because my dad literally, I mean, he could have easily in the beginning of being sick quit and probably would have lived many, many, many more years, but he still just couldn't.
Yeah,
he couldn't do it. I get it. I get the addiction to it, but I just don't understand. And I have some friends that still smoke, but you know what? They're really polite about it. I don't hold that against them. I don't hold the fact that they smoke against them because they're polite about the whole thing. Like, they would never sit at the doorway of a restaurant and puff away.
You know, my kids are constantly amazed when they see someone who's smoking, and even my kids will say, wow, Mommy, I didn't know people still smoked, or you know, that man's smoking. Or they'll point out next to me, the car next to me, they'll say, oh my God, look at that man's smoking. Or that girl has a cigarette. And I'm like, I like that it's becoming not so much the norm, because there for several decades it was.
And you know what? Good that it's not the normal. Like, you should want to quit, you know. And we used to have to chase people when I worked at the daycare. We used to have to chase people away from the front of our building because they would sit there. They would come out of the there was a restaurant and then there was a salon. So they would come out of those two places, light up and stand literally in front of our nursery and smoke. And we would chase them away. Like, we would not hesitate for one of us to walk out there and say, you need to move on.
Right.
Like, you're literally standing around children and smoking.
And I honestly, you know, I'm not saying that people that smoke are bad, because they're not. No, I was one of them. My grandpa was, you know. I think that, you know, in this day and age, when you know what it can do to you, I think, you know, hopefully you'll try everything in your power not to do it, because it's not
And the
good.
bigger
the end
issue
result
is if you want to do it to yourself, that's fine, but you have to have consideration for the people around you. And I think that's where my irritation comes into play. Yeah. And nothing pisses me off more than seeing someone in their car with their kid in the back seat puffing away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Them, not their kid. I don't want their kid puffing away either. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah. Crazy.
So that was kind of a downer.
Oh, well, mine, I think this probably pisses people off around the world, or at least in the United States where it seems to be very prevalent. Those damn kiosk people in the middle of the mall.
Oh, yeah.
That will try to give you a conditioner treatment for free.
I don't want to try your community flat iron. No.
They're the one. Remember I told you they're the ones who like curled my hair that day. Yeah. So I walked around the mall with like 3 curls. When I found out he wanted $80 for a fucking curling iron, I was like, no, dude. He's like, but your hair is not finished. I said, I don't care. I came here to shop, not to have my hair curled.
Right.
I can't stand them. I hate them. And I think they should be not illegal, but I think they should not be allowed to do that.
Right. Because
they really are like a form of harassment when you're walking through that
mall.
and
they don't take no for an answer. And no. I've had one spray me with perfume before, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? I did not ask for that.
Don't touch me.
And I love perfume, but I didn't ask to be sprayed with that. Like, don't.
And you know, and I've had them. I've had Aubrey, my teenager, come home before, and her friends got what do you call it? Got conned into buying a body scrub or body lotion.
Right.
And she's like, "Look, mommy, it was only $25." And I was like, No, I think what it was I can't remember what it was, but it was supposedly this awesome deal. And when I did the math, I looked at her and I said, you just got gypped. Like, literally, you got conned.
Right. You could have bought that at Walgreens for $5. So.
And she's like, oh, no. And I'm like, girl, don't ever buy anything from those little son of a bitches in the middle. Don't.
No.
Do not. I can't stand them. I hate them all to begin with, but I specifically avoid them all these days just because of them.
Right. I avoid them all at all costs. It's very rare for me to go to the mall.
I hate it. And I never make eye contact with them. Like, literally, when we walk by, I will hold my hand up now and not even worry about being looked at as rude. I don't even care. Nope.
And I'm a pretty polite person. You know that. Like, I don't like offending anybody, but I refuse. I will literally, if you speak to me, I will ignore you.
Yep, me too.
And it goes against everything within my body that tells me it's not nice to not respond or acknowledge people. I will do it because I don't want your shit.
Yeah,
but
no,
I don't go to the mall terribly often anymore. I think it's the occasional trip over to the Woodlands and Barnes and Noble. That's it.
Well, I find that this mall here or that mall there seem to be even more so than some of the malls other malls that I've been to. With
you mean the one that's by us?
Yes,
that's all that's there.
Yes.
It's like a movie theater, Barnes and Noble, and kiosk. Yeah.
Yes, crazy.
It's a dying mall. Yeah.
I hate it. So,
I hate group text.
Oh, me too. Me too. Especially when you can't get out of them.
I know.
Ah.
And like the funny thing is, I'm all good. Like if we're trying to plan a night out or something like that, but just I have a few like random group texts where they literally it's just all of them like it's almost like a prolonged lunch with your friends. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, like someone literally put on there, I just got these greatest pants from Macy's. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
I'm like, good for you, but the 9 of us don't need to know that. Like, if it's one thing if you're planning a party and everyone's talking, once the party's done, the conversation needs to end. There's no reason for group text to happen.
Or those group Facebook messages. Have you ever been a part of those?
Yep.
Where, like, some random person on your friends list will send to everybody. And you're like... And it's so funny because you can see all the people above you that have already left the conversation. Yeah. And so I will literally stop whatever I'm doing, if I'm in the store or whatever, and I'm like, I'm going to leave this conversation. And inevitably, I have to dig around to find that option, but I'm going to leave that conversation.
Yeah. And again, this is where I struggle because I'm a polite person and don't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
I know. You know, I just get to the point, though, where I think my time is very valuable, and I'm not hurting your feelings by leaving the conversation. I'm just telling you that yes, I saw it. I have more important things to do. I saw it, but thank you very much. So, oh my God, talking about telephone. There's nothing worse than like when you being asked for the 10th time the account number after you've already input it into a phone. You know what I'm talking about? It's when you call and you're like on the phone with just say, you know, Sprint or somebody, and
Right.
they ask you, please input your phone number or your account number.
I already put it in. You got it.
I put it in, and then that motherfucker gets on and he says, "Can I have your account number, please?" I actually told the guy one day, I was so fed up. I said, "I already put it in. That's how I got to you. Do you not have that information?" And he's like, "No, ma'am." I'm like, "Oh my God, just poke me." Just like,
or if it is like the account number is like your phone number, you're like, "Bitch, do you have caller ID? You know what my phone number is. Like, it literally is showing up on your screen right now. You don't need me to tell you."
Facepalm, man. I
don't know what my phone number is. Why would I tell you?
That drives me nuts. I can't stand that. Don't ask me for the account number when I clearly just entered it in 4 times when prompted, like you asked me to do. Yeah, drives me crazy.
Okay, so this is my this is not my last one, but this is another phone one, and then I promise this is my last phone one. People who talk on their phone at the grocery store.
Oh, that isn't.
It pisses me off.
I'm kind of guilty of that because that's kind of, I chat with my mom a lot of times to avoid awkward encounters with people.
Do you sit there holding the phone up to your ear in the middle of the fucking aisle, wasting space? Yes, you're shaking your head. Yes, you are a problem with our society, ma'am.
I like to chat with my mom.
I don't care. Put your earbuds in and talk to her that way.
No, I do talk. I do talk on the phone in the store sometimes. And in all honesty, it is truly so that I don't feel alone. Does that sound weird? Like sometimes if I'm by myself, like especially after the kids.
I can't read your personality sometimes.
Huh?
You're like, I crave to be alone, but I don't want to be alone.
I am weird. This is a true fact about me.
You are weird, and that's why I love you.
I like to be alone, but sometimes when I go shopping, I don't want to be alone. Like, I don't want all the attention on me. I want it to be deflected on the other people that are with me. Does that sound weird?
But I'm paying more attention to you if you have a phone up to your ear and telling everybody your life story.
Well, I try to be quiet about it. So I will inevitably call my mom right before I walk in the store and like talk to her as I'm walking in the store. And then once I get in the store, then I get off the phone with her. It's just like I need that escort to go into a store. I don't know why.
Honey, I miss you.
I'm so weird. Can't help it.
You are so weird.
Okay, you know what? You know one thing that drives me totally nuts. This is such a pet peeve of mine. People who type the word defiantly when they mean definitely. Oh, I have a couple of friends who do it.
Is that a huge problem?
Yes, it is for these couple of friends, and I just want to tell them I want to put
Spell
an
check.
asterisk. I want to put asterisks definitely. You know how people will call you out when you type something and then they'll put the word in the asterisk? Yeah, they do it all the time. It's not defiantly, it's definitely.
I don't ever, I mean, like sometimes shit happens, when you're typing fast, but like I didn't realize that was a really big problem because there's this great thing on most phones where you start typing a word and it tells you which one you want to put in and you just tap that word.
Yeah, well, apparently they either think that that's really the proper use of the word or they don't have that enabled on their phone.
Oh, no. Bless their hearts. Do you think they really think that that's what that word means?
Dear God. No, I really think that that's how they think it's spelled.
Oh.
Definitely.
That's sad.
Because if you're going around using the word defiantly so much in your everyday conversation that your phone recognizes that word, I think something's wrong here.
That's not even a word I use that often. I'm probably the most with red. I mean, I'm sure I use that word with red more than anything else.
She defiantly said no grilled cheese for lunch. I mean, come on, really? No, I don't say that. There is a word out there, and I struggled to think of it, and I could not think of it, but there's one word that I hear people on TV all the time and other people constantly mispronounce, and it's going to drive me nuts until I think of it. But I cannot. I watched it on a show the other night, and she mispronounced it. And frustrated. People say frustrated. Have you ever heard people say that?
I don't really give this stuff much thought.
I do. I'm a grammar Nazi. So I watched this show, Little Women LA, and one of the girls on there is notorious for saying frustrated. It's not fucking frustrated. Is
it her accent?
Frustrated.
Is it her accent? Is that why she's saying it
No,
that
she
way?
has no accent. She just says frustrated. No. I'm frustrated watching you say fucking frustrated. Like frustrated.
Do you know what irritates me is, and I think that everybody is guilty of overusing this word, but when it gets to the point that it starts hurting my ear is, can you guess which word it is?
Don't say my favorite word literally.
People use that one too. Not you, but people do use that one. But it's like.
Oh, yeah. Like so totally.
But I will freely admit that I catch myself doing it. And I think I actually just did. But I think that everybody uses it maybe a little bit more than we should. But there are people that it comes out of their mouth constantly. And it's like, I just did it.
See, literally is mine. That's my new favorite word.
Literally. But it just comes out way too much. And then that's all I don't even hear the other words. All I hear is you saying like. And I automatically assume that
you're an idiot.
Your IQ level is lower. It's judgmental. I know it. And we all say it. But when it becomes overwhelming, I can't handle it. Well, I shut down. I stop listening to you. I just shut down and stop listening.
I just hear like so totally.
Yeah.
So totally.
This is not 1987 California. We don't need to say that constantly.
Valley girl.
Gag me with a spoon.
Oh, okay. One of mine is people in the car rider line who think their time is more valuable than yours.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what, bitch. I got up just like you did, and I got my kids ready, and I got here in the proper time.
Yeah.
I do not need to whiz around the rest of the line and run flying in or park in the handicap spot.
Oh, I hate people. I hate people that park in handicap spot that are
I want to get out and give them something to be handicapped about. I'm serious.
Right.
That pisses me off because I literally was in that situation where I couldn't tell you how many times when I broke my ankle and we went to somewhere that I couldn't find parking. We could not find anywhere because people were in them.
Right.
And
I don't care what got you that sticker. If you don't have the sticker or the tag, keep your ass out of that spot. I don't care how long. If I'm just running in, I don't give a shit. Yeah. Go park somewhere else. If you got the tag, I don't care how you got it. I don't care if it's physical, mental, whatever. That's not my business. But if you don't have that tag or that sticker on your car, keep your ass out of that spot.
Well, people were notorious at the old school, at Hidden Hollow, for parking in the handicap to run their kid into the school in the morning. Because her time was way more valuable than my time.
I have a running list in my head of people that do that at our school. You want to?
I wanted to scream out the window one day at this woman and say, your fucking time is no more valuable than mine. Get your car out of the damn handicap spot. I mean, that's probably on my top list of pet peeves. People who park in handicap who are clearly not handicapped. And I know a lot of people have disabilities that you can see, but if you have the sticker and you have the tag, I'm never going to judge you. You might have, a form of mental condition that, you can't walk more than 5 steps without, I don't know. So
or like people that have fibro, like you don't know their pain. You don't know what that is,
Exactly.
And
I have no
people
problem
manage things a lot different. So if you've got the tag, it's none of my business how you got it.
That's exactly right.
But that spot is made for you.
Yes.
So
but if you don't have that tag, get your ass out of it.
Right. That's a good one. Conversational stuff. I have a real issue with wooers. Do you know who wooers are?
Wooers? Like those men, like construction workers on the sidewalk?
No, like woo girls. Have you ever seen that episode of Have You Met My Mother? Did you ever watch that show?
I never got that show. It did not. No.
It's hilarious. But there is a whole episode about woo girls. And they're the girls that always like, woo! Those girls.
That flash their boobs?
No, they just say woo a lot. Like that's whenever they're cheering and stuff. It's woo!
This just sounds like an all-encompassing type of irritating girl right here.
It's a noise. It's a noise, and it's an irritating noise. And like, I'll go to watch a video, and the second I hear someone in the background, my sister-in-law posted these great videos of a concert that she went to that we're actually going to in a couple months. And like, she's trying to post this video of whatever the lighting and the song, and all I can hear is people going, woo! And I'm like, shut the fuck up. If you're excited, clap or do something. But if I can't hear over your noise, I'm going to be really pissed.
That is so funny.
I can't stand it.
I've never even noticed. Didn't
And
even.
I know it's a weird thing to focus on, but I cannot stand that. And I have a big issue with unnecessary noises to begin with, so I can't stand that. Like, it just drives me nuts. It grates on. It's painful for me to hear.
Yeah, that is so funny. No. Since we're talking about things that people do, like that assault your senses, hearing someone eat, listening to someone eat. And I'm not calling any names out here, my husband, but listening to someone eat makes me want to throat punch them with a fork.
Now, here I wasn't going to say anything about Matt because I didn't want to bash him, and you just opened up a huge folder of, oh my God, I totally understand where you're coming from.
I don't get it.
We'll be like, the kids are going to go to bed. They're in bed and we're watching TV and we're sitting there and he'll have his whiskey and then there's all the ice in the whiskey cup and he sits there and he chomps on that fucking ice. And I'm like, when do you leave again?
Ice chompers, yes, that's another category. Yes,
and I do like to eat ice too, but he has a way of being so loud about it. Bless his heart. Like, I love him to death, but when he's chewing on the ice, I kind of secretly hope he chokes a little bit. I don't want him to die. I just want him to choke a little bit.
Literally the other day, Lloyd was sitting at the table and he was doing it, and Paige and I looked at each other, and then we looked back at him, and then we looked at each other again, and she said, yeah, he needs to stop that. And I said, yes, he really does. I mean, that drives me up one wall and down the other. Yeah.
Maggie's she's a noisy eater as well. I feel bad. And I feel bad because I'm always like, Maggie, please. And she's like, I can't help it. And I'm like, I know, baby, but it makes me want to vomit. I just can't.
And there's actually a word for it. There's a phrase for it. I don't know what it is, but there's a phrase for the repulsion of listening to someone eat.
Right.
As there is, I'm sure, for all of these things that we have. There's probably a word.
We're a hot mess. These poor people, none of them are really like, these are not cardinal sins. We're that cynical. I think.
There's actually a website called getannoyed.com, and people can go on and add. It's page after page after page of pet peeves.
Yeah.
And so you can go on and add yours, but I thought it was really funny. But
do you have any more?
Oh, hell yeah, girl. You have any more?
I have one more.
Okay.
I mean, I have a shit ton of pet peeves because I'm that horrible of a person.
I got one more after you, yeah.
So this one is a little outdated. I don't see them as often, but we went through a phase of hoverboards.
Yes. The kid across the street has one.
Fucking hate those things. Every time I see, and I don't care how old you are, if I saw you riding one, I really just had to fight the urge to go up and push you down on your face.
We have a neighbor in our neighborhood who's actually an adult, and he rides an electric skateboard.
Stop being lazy and use your fucking feet. That's my only thought. Like, these, we have a whole country that is riddled with this problem with lack of exercise and obesity. And here we are giving them another fucking excuse to not move their feet.
Right.
It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
And I'm a fat girl saying that. Like, I mean, we have a serious problem, and you're not, your kid is going down the street on this stupid hoverboard that is $400 plus, chugging Mountain Dew. I mean, just welcome to diabetes land. It just drives me nuts to see those things. And they've really petered out some, but still.
Yes, and I used to see kids going to school on them a lot.
Yeah.
They would go to the middle school whenever Aubrey was in middle school, and it would kill me. And you're right, man. They'd just be like chugging along, drinking their drink and eating their food or whatever, riding their little thing. And I'm thinking,
I mean, if you want to skateboard. That's great exercise. That shit's hard. Have you ever skateboarded? It's hard.
Yeah, no, I can't skateboard. Or ride your bike or walk. There's a novel idea.
Yeah. And why are we giving our children $400 or $500 toys like that? It just doesn't make any sense to me. So
my kids have asked for one in the past, and I just told them absolutely not. I can't justify buying one $400 toy for each kid.
Right.
I just can't do it. I don't spend that much on you at, regular damn time.
Right.
There's no way. So
I can't recall if it ever came up or not, but if it did, it would have been shot down immediately. Yeah. I just, there's no bonus to those things in my opinion. They just irritate. I crack up every time I would see someone fall. Or, this is going to sound really bitchy, but every time there was a fire because of one, I kind of laughed a little bit. Like you kind of had that coming.
They're not anything that I would ever buy for my kids. So, okay, my last one is, oh God, this drives me nuts. It's when you open the door for someone and they don't even acknowledge that you fucking opened the door for them.
Yeah.
So inevitably, I always say, "You're welcome. You're welcome."
We have that issue with the kids because they're obsessed with opening doors for people. And it's always a real eye opener for them that people are rude assholes.
Yeah.
And not everybody, I will say it's not a huge issue.
Right.
A lot of people, and especially like, they're like, oh my gosh, thank you, because they see that they're little and they're, I've had ladies that have been like, oh, go ahead. And I'm like, those boys are not moving until you go through that door. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Like, they're holding the door for you and they're not going to move until you go in. But whenever that does happen, I'm always very conscious of saying thank you for opening that door for that person. Like, I make sure that they hear me tell my children what a good job they did for opening the door for someone, because people are just...
What do you do if you open the door for someone and they don't acknowledge it?
I probably just let it go because it's me, but I want them to see polite. I need for them to be more polite than I am, and that the adult races, right? I mean, adult humans right now are just not very polite people. So I need for them to be better than us. Does that make sense?
It does. But I inevitably, I don't say it to them. I always say as I walk away, well, you're welcome.
Right.
And
it probably has, it depends on my mood. I'm sure that's popped out of my mouth before.
Well, and it makes me mad because when you do things nicely for people over and over and over again, and you have so many people that act like that in return, it almost makes you get to the point where sometimes you don't even want to do it anymore.
Right.
And it's unfortunate, but I think
that's where you have to be the better person and do it because you're a polite person, not because there's going to be a thank you at the end of it, which ultimately we should be teaching our kids too. But I just,
Yep.
But I don't know, are your kids, I mean, have you kind of taught them to open the door for other people and everything? Or?
I was sitting here thinking about that. Typically, no, because most doors that we go in are automatic doors nowadays, if you think about it. I was just thinking as you said that, we go in Kroger, we go in, Publix or Walmart, and all the doors are automatic these days, pretty much. Smaller stores, not so much. But I tend not to take my kids. You take your kids a lot more places than I take my kids. Yeah. I do not. If I don't have to, I don't take them. So it's only since we moved up here, honestly, for the past 7 years, I rarely took them places like that, shopping.
Right.
It's just since
for us, that's always been the way we've had to do things.
Right.
So.
Right. It is.
I mean, I love to be alone too, but that's just always it's rarely an option for me to be alone. So.
Well, it's like that now for us here. I'm in your boat. I literally, if I have to go somewhere, I have to take them all with me.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know, but.
Yeah, I do hate that. Like, it drives me, and that just goes against the common courtesy thing. Drives me nuts. So. Yeah,
I'm just. Yeah. I could go on and on and on, but that's my list.
But we really are, listeners. We are happy people.
Yes, we are. But it's a nice episode for that way when we post we'd always post it up on the group or on the page, and tell us what your pet peeves are, because everybody has a pet peeve. Everybody.
Right. Oh yeah, yeah.
We're not all shiny,
I think our
happy
list is
people
pretty
all
healthy.
the time.
I think our list is pretty healthy, though.
Yeah. And I think ours is pretty much like universal. Like, I think these things probably piss most people off. No turn signals, impatient people in line at Walmart. Yeah. I could go on. And I will tell you on that note, I am the most patient person I know. And I always make an extra special effort if I'm in line at Walmart or the grocery store to not huff and puff because the person in front of me is taking too long. I don't care that your stuff is still on the belt. I will wait patiently my turn because I try to set an example, because inevitably the person behind me is going to get pissed off because I have way too much food.
I never really understand people that get huffy in grocery lines. Like, it's going to be long. And inevitably they still do their job, and it really doesn't take... I can't tell you, with the exception of maybe like at Christmas time and stuff, how often are you really in a grocery line that long?
Right. Well, Walmart is notorious. Walmart inevitably takes about 15 minutes to check out. It just does.
In my life, that's not very long, though. I mean, maybe that's, that's the patience kicking. Like, to me, that's, that's a drop in a hat.
No, it doesn't bother me either. It doesn't.
Yeah.
But inevitably, the person behind me, I can tell.
Because their time is more important.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It always.
They're way more important than we are.
Always. Always.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So
Awesome. All right. Well, let's move on because we are killing it on time here. So, our random question for this week is: are you ready?
Yes.
Name something you associate with the first time you went to Oingo Boingo Town.
Okay, what the hell's Oingo Boingo Town?
Oh, I think you know.
Oh my gosh! Name something that I associate with the first time that I had sex. Is that pretty much what the question is? Oh my god!
But I'm a mature adult, so I'm calling it Oingo Boingo. Oingo Boingo.
I have two things come to mind: Bon Jovi in the back seat. Like that's it.
There you go.
I have no idea. You?
I can do better.
Okay.
Bryan Adams. I do it for you.
Everything I do.
I do it for you.
Yeah, that song needs to stay where it was, not in my mouth or in my ears.
It worked out okay for me.
Oh man, yeah, Bon Jovi or Whitesnake probably in the back seat. Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Oh man, you can tell we grew up in the '80s, right?
No comment. I can't. We can't to this day. We can't watch Robin Hood. So.
Oh, how funny! Oingo Boingo Town. Really? You know what my first thought was when you had this when you said this sentence? The band Oingo Boingo. Do you remember them from the 80s?
Vaguely. What did they sing again?
Dear Lord, it was some obscure song. I think they had one top hit and that was it. But it was Oingo Boingo.
Most bands in the 80s had one top hit.
Yes, one hit wonders, as VH1 likes to say.
I'm notorious with 80s music that I can name off a bunch of songs, but I can't tell you a lot of artists and stuff. So.
Oh no. That's funny.
Bunch of stuff from England.
I think Oingo Boingo might have been from England.
Probably. They were just pushing them out. Yeah.
And I'm sure we have that one person who'll say, y'all, you guys, you said, I'm gonna look up Oingo Boingo right now.
It's gonna be Stacy, I think, that will know.
Or Elisa. Oingo Boingo.
Yes.
Yes. Danny Elfman. Oingo Boingo. Danny Elfman was one who did
he does all the music for movies and stuff.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
But he came from Oingo Boingo was an American. Okay, I was wrong. American new wave band best known for its hits Weird Science.
Weird Science.
Yes, that's Oingo
All right.
Boingo. So yeah, Oingo Boingo party. I'm where did you even pull that word out of?
Because I'm a mature adult and I don't like to call things nasty, inappropriate words, so I just make things up.
You should have said doing the deed or doing the nasty.
Bumping uglies.
Bumping uglies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do social media.
All right, guys. If you want to, if you ever want to comment on any of the episodes that you've heard or correct us on anything that we've ever missaid or misspoke.
Oh God, you're opening up a whole can of worms there.
I am. Yeah. Have at it. Have a ball. Go over to our group page. It's Life Under the Laundry Pile podcast group over on Facebook, and you're more than welcome to start a thread, make a comment, chit chat with other listeners. We also have a Facebook page. We have a website which is now fully current, lifeunderthelaundrypile.com.
Woohoo!
And as I've said before, if you have someone who doesn't know how to work a podcast, just send them over there. We have Twitter, Instagram. Copper is neverdrinkfrommommy'scup.com, and she also has an Instagram and Twitter. And I am One Fed Up Mommy over on Instagram and my website. So that's kind of it. But
that's awesome.
Just a
and
disclaimer, both of our websites are pretty defunct.
I do want to backtrack a little bit for you and say on our website when they're talking about they can subscribe on there as well, and they will get notification when their new shows come out. So
yes, over on the thank you for reminding me. Over on the right hand side, I took down the pop up because the pop up I discovered through comments that it's kind of annoying and people don't really like it. So if you want to subscribe, all you gotta do is go over to the right hand side and put your email address into the box, and that's it. You will get a notice every time we drop a new episode. So all the box was just, it was the same exact thing. It just got very irritating very quick. So hopefully, if you guys, I don't think anyone ever even utilized the box, the pop-up box. So we're learning, but
I love those boxes. I always sign up.
I never sign up for those boxes.
I don't ever sign up.
I X them out.
I sign up if I like something. I found that, this gets into technical stuff that you guys don't give a shit about. I found like if it immediately pops up when I go to a website, I'm out. Like I'm not gonna.
Yes.
I don't. But if I've had time to look at it and I'm interested, I will sign up. I think if you've got it like later in the article or whatever. But I don't know how we could do that. So
No.
just if you want to go over to the side, it's right there.
Yep.
You can see it. So
Yep.
it's no big deal. But yeah, when that shit pops up immediately, I'm out. I don't even know if I like you. Why would I give you my email?
I know. And so that was one of the reasons I took it off. So all you do
Yeah.
is go to the right-hand side, put your email address in. That's it. We don't sell
Yeah.
anything. We don't send you extra messages. We don't say, "Oh, hey, you haven't been listening. Where are you?"
I might. You don't know what I do at night. I might.
Then don't listen to what Copper says. I promise you, we don't do that. So yeah. All right. So do we know what we're talking next week?
I do somewhere, but
We
not.
do. I do.
Do you have it?
Yes, episode 42. We forgot a big milestone. Last week's episode was episode 40, which is pretty fucking amazing in the world of
is amazing.
podcasts. Because I don't think a lot of podcasts survive past how many episodes?
7.
7. Damn. We're rocking it, baby.
We are doing awesome.
We are. So next week is episode 42, and it's if moms were in charge or if moms ruled the world.
Right.
So, yeah.
Make sure you come back for that.
Make sure you stick around.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right. We'll catch you on the flip side.
Bye.
Bye.